The Four Noble Truths for World Peace. Have you ever been in sorrow? Or in fact, nobody has. Welcome to See the Truth. 45 years before the beginning of the Buddhist era, on the night of the full moon of the 6th month, Buddha discovered the ultimate truth, never before revealed, that has greatly benefited humans and all beings. He was determined to help all beings find the exit from the suffering permanently, to stop the cycle of never-ending bodily pain, mental anguish, grief, mourning, and misery. Attempting to acquire happiness through the five senses, regardless of how refined or abundant, will not enable one to escape from suffering. The feeling of happiness is temporary and gradually decreases with time. One is repeatedly compelled to seek more happiness. In so doing, one only encounters more sufferings. One is trapped by the desire to acquire temporary pleasures through sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. As one continues to search for these pleasurable feelings, the unhappiness multiplies. Forcing the body and mind, or torturing oneself, are extreme measures that have proven to be futile. Following the middle path is to see things as they truly are, that they exist only temporarily. All things arise, change, and eventually disappear. To be attached to things that can only exist temporarily will unavoidably lead to suffering. At the same time, there is the cycle of life's experiencing sufferings, from inescapable decline that awaits one through old age, sickness, death, separation from loved ones, inability to obtain the desires, and encountering things that one despises. As long as there is birth, there is this cycle of sufferings before eventually passing away. Then, what causes the birth? In his wisdom and virtues, Buddha meditated in search of the noble truths, which he finally discovered on the night of his enlightenment. The Buddha discovered that suffering exists, but one who suffers does not. All sufferings arise from the wrongful beliefs that the body and mind are us or belong to us. In short, the clinging on five aggregates are sufferings. The clinging beliefs that the body, feelings, memories, thoughts, and consciousness are us or belong to us are the cause of sufferings. They are merely perceptions that evolved from the interaction of various cause factors. They are caused by those factors and do not truly belong to anyone. They exist only temporarily and will eventually disappear. These beliefs are: first, clinging to the excessive belief that one truly exists as a person with unique status, race, ancestry, role, and position. Second, clinging to the excessive belief that our views and opinions truly belong to us. Third, clinging to the pleasures obtained from the six contacts: sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and emotion, believing that these sensations belong to us, when in fact they are transient and are not ours. clinging to rules and rituals, wrongfully believing one must formally conduct rituals according to rigid structures and protocols. This is not a true exit from sufferings. What is then the cause of this suffering? The true cause of this clinging is craving. Craving for things to be this way, craving for things not to be that way, craving for things to be better and better endlessly. To exit from this is to see the true nature of all things, to see that all substances in the world arise as a result of various cause factors and not due to specific beings, persons, or entities. All substances are simply masses and energy that are interdependent and interacting with one another, with no definite existence at any moment. They are simply natural substances that continuously drive the process of consistent changes through the interaction of factors both in tangible form and in perception of the mind. These processes continue perpetually, driven by the ignorance and cravings. It is neither because of us nor other people at all. This is called Paticca Samuppada. All states are interdependent on one another. They do not exist by themselves. Because of the ignorance of the actual nature of things, thought formation is then developed. Because there is thought, there comes consciousness. Because there is consciousness, there are mood and personality. Because there is personality, there are six senses. Because there are the six senses, then they sense internal and external contacts. Because there are contacts, there are feelings of happiness, sadness, and neutrality. Because there are feelings, there are craving and aversion. Because there is craving, there is clinging to our wants. Because there is clinging, there is intention to perform actions. Because there is intention, there is birth. Because there is birth, there are decay and death. Thus arises this whole mass of sufferings, which continues to feed the ignorance endlessly. Because there is this cause, then there is an effect. When the cause ends, then the effect ends. All of these form a cycle that occurs in a never-ending chain. Things continuously arise and pass away at every single moment, including the moment of death. The way to exit from sufferings is to eliminate the cause through wisdom, to see things as they truly are. When seeing the true nature of things and realizing that they are not true entities, even happiness and suffering are not due to ourselves or others. These things are not worth clinging to. They exist only temporarily and will eventually pass away. The extreme likings, hatred, and desires will eventually disappear. Bodies come from the four elements: earth, water, wind, and fire. The four elements combine to form the body, and hence the body permanently owns it. It can only exist temporarily. Food substances enter and leave the body. The same goes for the air breathing in and out, water that comes in and out, and the energy that circulates throughout the body. These elements naturally decrease with time and need to be replenished constantly. The four elements circulate throughout the entire universe, changing from one form into another, continuously arising and passing away. No one truly owns them. Thus, they are no different from the wind, the sun, the sky, and the river. The mind, too, is not truly us. It comprises of feelings, memories, thoughts, and consciousness that result from other cause factors. These are the six contacts: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. They are unstable elements which constantly change, arise, and pass away. Because any substance that naturally arises will naturally pass away. Hence, it is never truly permanently us or ours. By seeing things as they truly are, the right understanding is then developed that there is no permanent substance or entity which belongs to anybody, no permanent us or them. One must constantly remain aware of the body and mind in order to realize this foreseeable truth that has existed all along. In so doing, one will walk along the noble path which will lead one to become a noble individual with the right thoughts, the right words, the right actions, and the right deeds. Will not harm oneself and others. One will be constantly mindful in avoiding improper actions and to practice proper actions. As such, the mental concentration will be focused and remain impartial. The original state of mind, which is by nature pure, bright, and joyful, will appear on a regular basis. By proceeding along the noble path, greed, anger, and misperception will eventually disappear. The tenacious clinging to desires will gradually decline, and one will reach a state of neutrality. One will let go of obsession with likes and dislikes due to the realization that nobody truly gains or loses anything. The original peace of mind that exists within will surface in the present moment. It is the true peacefulness that needs no reliance on impermanent substances. The path to eternal nirvana, the exit from the cycle of eventual sufferings, was thus declared to the world since then. Look, Bhikkhu. All mental formations naturally deteriorate with time. All of you should attend to matters that are beneficial to you and to others completely without negligence. The detailed meaning of this statement is that all things in this world exist temporarily. They are transient with no permanent entity. They arise, change, and eventually deteriorate. One should conduct one's duties to the utmost benefits of oneself and others. One should lead one's life with constant mindfulness. Be careful not to let oneself be obsessed with pleasures from the six senses of sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and feelings of one's mind. One should work constantly to avoid improper actions and to practice proper actions. Only in this way will one's mind be bright and clear. The mind of one who is enlightened. Peace starts from within and grows to be kindness expressed to all living things, so that all can live together harmoniously. By leading lives guided by the Four Noble Truths, which are the ultimate truths, namely, first, to have the knowledge of suffering; second, to cease the cause of suffering; third, to have a clear knowledge of the extinction of suffering; and fourth, to proceed along the path that will lead the complete extinction of suffering. May everyone see the truth and progress along the noble path of the Buddha. It is the path through his great perseverance ever that the Buddha has kindly given to mankind to see an end to all sufferings towards eternal peace for all.